Hey, Gail, I don't know what happened. When I came back, everybody was gone. That was crazy. Let me see where the super chat. Thank you for the super chat, Gail. Thank you very much. Hey, oh, Gail, I don't know what happened. And then I saw you said you lost connection, and I guess Linda and the others went right off too. I don't know what the heck happened because I lowered the volume. I had to talk to Jimmy, and then came back and everybody was gone. Hi, Jen Grill. How are you? Let's see here. Move on to this. So today, I don't know. I think a lot of you were there when we were watching Kohberger. The judge came on, and I did watch an interview with Steve Gonsalves, who didn't like what the judge had to say. Hello, Ruff. Oh, let me just say, obviously I'm not having an auction today. I did put up a community post. Kids and I went for a very late swim, and then we came home. I hadn't even had dinner, and I just said, I can't do the auction because I didn't get it out in time. I didn't have it up there. It didn't, so I'm going to do it tomorrow. Anyway, so where was I? Yeah, and I'm trying to remember who did it. Somebody put out there to call the Ada County Courthouse with the number and said, see if you can change the judge's mind. Now, you have to understand, the family, 2 of the 4 families did not want the plea deal, right? And 2 were in favor of the plea deal. They were fine with the plea deal. But that's not even the point. The prosecution should have met with all of the families, at the very, very least. Now, again, maybe some of you know, maybe some of you don't know, that in Chris Watts' case, the DA, Rourke, flew out to North Carolina to speak with the Rusacks. Now, it was a little bit of a different situation there because he was pushing for the death penalty. And as you know, they didn't feel that was their right, and they didn't want that. So, but they met with them. And the point is, they deferred to their wishes, even though he was very, very strong-willed that he wanted the death penalty in this case, okay? Now, in this case, hi, White Angel, hi, Ruff, they didn't meet with the families. They either called the families, and they're very upset, okay? So Steve Gonsalves is probably the most outspoken, but you're Ruff, you're very angry, and you're sick over the P.Diddy case. Ruffles, you must know, right? Money talks, P.Diddy walks. It's the world we live in. That man has so much money. For what Linda and I were saying, for what we don't know, we couldn't even tell you a P.Diddy song. We cannot even tell you a P.Diddy song. But he has a tremendous amount of money that he paid off, what was it, $18 million mortgage that was outstanding on his $48 million house. And he's got power. He has money. People are scared of him. They're, like Tico said, prime objective on the post, these are 2 tiers of justice. Tiers for people like Diddy and tiers for the regular people like us. I am frankly surprised that he wasn't let out on bond. I'm surprised that the judge denied him, but Cassie Ventura said she's scared of him. How is that going to change in a few weeks if he's let out? Yeah, I don't even understand how people are, he was convicted of 2 charges that have a maximum of 10 years each. So he was facing a possibility, if they ran them consecutively, 20 years. But they've already whittled that down to, what was it, between 45 and 60 something months. Now the prosecutor said that could go up. People are already talking about that he's going to get time served, which by the time he's sentenced, when is his sentencing date? Kohberger's is in July 23rd. I have to check on Diddy's. But yeah, Diddy has a massive following. Earlier I was watching a reporter report to Nancy Grace how she was being threatened by his crowd of supporters outside the courthouse, and they were calling her a bee. Didn't the first charge? Yes, the first could be life, yes. But he wasn't convicted on that charge. That was the racketeering. That was the heftiest charge. He was not convicted on that. And I knew something was whacked because when the defense team kept pushing the jury yesterday to just get a verdict on that first charge, I said, they seem pretty darn secure that either the majority of those other charges are not guilty. And that's when I kind of knew, because I think, why would the defense push for that? Because if they thought they was guilty, they'd push for the hung jury, right? So, yeah, I don't know how any of, Cassie Ventura, if she doesn't feel safe now, how is that going to be different? I don't know. I bet you a lot of people are just, I don't know how Jane is feeling. I don't know if she said anything, but alone, a regular person, okay, let's just say this, a regular person who's arrested and caught with the drugs that P.Diddy had in his room at the time of his arrest, the MDMA, the ketamine, I think he had cocaine. That alone, right, would be something, it's just, I don't know, the weakest thing just happened. I came in and I had no chat box, and I realized that it was subscribers only mode, and I must have been showing up. You know what? I wish everybody will check their subscribe button, because Gina Marie said the exact same thing. She said that she was unsubscribed. A bunch of people said they were unsubscribed and they had to resubscribe. They didn't understand why they couldn't get in the chat. Well, obviously anybody that's in the chat, but if anybody hears me and you're having trouble and you can't see the chat and you can't get in the chat, make sure that you're subscribed, because I don't know what is going on. Something is. No drug charge. Yeah. I just don't get it. Yeah. Diddy's got a, it's scary. I mean, and why wasn't he charged with assault on these women? They had stitches. They had to stay in hotel rooms until their bruises, and he stomped on their heads in a vehicle. Why wasn't he charged with that? assault. You know, they said, oh, this is not domestic violence. Why wasn't he charged with that? It doesn't make any sense, does it? I don't know. No recording without permission. I'm not sure of that, Ruff. I don't know about video recording. I'll have to look that up. But I think everybody was well aware that they were being recorded at those things. I don't think anything was hidden. He showed everybody. I don't think that's an issue, because I think everybody knew that they were being video recorded. He's on the video abusing Cassie. It's unreal. Yeah, but she didn't file charges against him. But doesn't even make sense, okay? Because in some states, I think New York is one of them, but if you have a couple, it doesn't matter whether they're married or whether they're not, you have a couple, especially I think if they're living together, and let's say one of them calls the police or the police come, they have to arrest someone if there's an assault, or at least take the other person off the premises. But I believe they try to get charges pressed. I could be wrong, but I should check that out. But I think so. And I think they have to arrest one of them. So, yeah, I understand that CNN surveillance came out, months after that incident. And that he bribed the security. But again, he was in a place of power. I mean, people were scared and and they're saying how terrible it is. He missed his twins' high school graduation. Biggest achievement in their lives. And he missed it. And he missed their prom. Well, their mother, Kim Porter, missed it too. And people think that Diddy had something to do with Kim Porter's death. I believe he had something to do with Tupac's death, right? A lot of other things. The Molotov cocktail in Kid Cudi's car. I don't know, yeah. Let me see when his sentencing is. Okay. He was acquitted of sex trafficking, but he was found guilty on lesser charges. He faces they keep saying he faces a potential sentence of as much as 20 years. He and his lawyers were jubilant after the acquittals and the more severe charges in an indictment that accused Diddy of coercing women into unwanted sex with male prostitutes aided by a team of pliant employees. The scene outside the courthouse has been a circus. Onlookers, journalists, podcasters, shouts of baby oil. Sean Combs' defense team spoke. They were cheered and applauded like stars. Anna, one person yelled at Anna Estiavo. When she stepped up to the microphone, she made a prayer sign with her hands and gave a slight bow. Barricades still line the block, and officers stationed every few feet are keeping crowds in line. TV reporters are continuing to do live shots between the tents. Yeah, it was a... scene out there. Let's see here. Mark Agnifilo said that we're not going to stop until he walks out of prison a free man. He was asked whether the defense would appeal the judge's decision today to deny him bail, but he declined to answer that. The job is not done yet, Xavier Donaldson, who's another defense lawyer, said. The defense is praising and damning the media. Tini Garagos said the media got it wrong, but another lawyer, Brian Steele, looked at the reporters in front of the courthouse and said, I want to thank you all for being here and writing truthfully. So Tini Garagos said Sean Combs has not essayed anybody. I've been saying that for months. The media got it wrong. And then Anna Estavio said she was nodding as Garagos was speaking. And Mark Agnifilo said, today is a great victory. It's a great victory for Sean Combs. It's a great victory for the jury system. Okay, and these, Diddy's mother, Diddy's daughters, Diddy's daughter, Diddy's daughter. I assume these are the twin daughters. Is this the other one whose mother he asked for, what was it that he asked for some money to put up for bond? Isn't that correct? Or to guarantee the bond? She looks like Diddy, this one right here. And I'm sure that she then does too if she'd lift her head up. She doesn't look like Diddy. Okay. Sean Combs turned to face his family members. They were gathered 8 feet approximately behind him in the public gallery. His mother was there, along with his 3 adult sons and 3 teenage daughters. They all watched him. We'll make it through this, Sean said, beaming. I love you all. Earlier, one of them had been shaking their heads in disappointment that their reunion would be delayed. Stay in the light. I'll see you all when I get out, Sean said. Blew them a kiss. He addressed his mother, Janice, directly. Mama, I love you. Stay strong. He had entered his bail hearing in an upbeat mood. He smiled at his family, blew kisses, mouthed love, love, love. Minutes later, when the judge said his bail was denied, his face dropped. Oh, he said, put his head down, and his hands clasped in his lap. Anyway, his defense attorney, Mark Agnifilo, said, today was a great day. He gets his life back. You can live your life, and you can live a good life. Maureen Comey, the prosecutor, said that the law holds that someone convicted of the Mann Act should be detained. The only thing exceptional about him, Ms. Comey said, are his wealth, his violence, and his brazenness. I can't speak tonight. There is nothing exceptional about this case except for his continued criminality. Agnifilo said this is such an unusual, exceptional set of circumstances that the user of prostitution services has been convicted of the Mann Act. I'm asking you to trust him, Judge. He told the judge that Mr. Combs has been a model prisoner, has children who have been without a parent, but it's not clear for what purpose, as the judge has already ruled about bail. Let's see here. The judge proposed a sentencing for October, but he indicated that he would be open to other suggestions. He noted that Sean Combs had already served nearly 10 months in jail, and that time will go towards his ultimate sentence. The judge said that Sean Combs and his lawyers have not met their burden to show that Sean poses no danger to any person. The judge cited the defense's own statements in closing arguments in making his decision to keep Sean Combs detained. If he was charged with domestic violence, we wouldn't all be here having a trial because he would have pled guilty because he did that. Agnifilo said. The judge noted that at trial, defense conceded about Sean Combs' violence in his personal relationships. We own it, Agnifilo said. The judge said that the limited exception to the mandatory detention was not met. Sean Combs pointed to his duties as a father and his son, but that does not rise to the level of the appropriate exception, said the judge. So he denied him bail. Let's see. Ahead of that 5 p.m. hearing, Sean Combs' lawyers submitted another letter to the judge that urged for his release, saying for months the government repeatedly argued and announced to the world that Sean Combs was a monster who perpetrated a 20-year federal crime spree through a racketeering enterprise. It devoted enormous resources to this prosecution. Then, after almost a year in detention, Mr. Combs finally got his day in court, and the government's allegations were tested before a jury of his peers. The jury resoundingly rejected the government's depiction of Mr. Combs. They also argued that Mr. Combs has a 3-year-old child, I thought she was 2.5, who needs her father. Yeah, I'm sure she really needs him. And an 85-year-old mother who would like Mr. Combs to be her primary caretaker. Oh, she looks pretty darn good for 85, doesn't she? She needs a caretaker, and Sean Combs is going to be her caretaker? Yeah, I'm sure that's going to happen. A lawyer for Cassie Ventura submitted a letter to the judge urging him to deny Mr. Combs' request for release on bond. That lawyer, Douglas Wigdor, wrote that Ms. Ventura believes that Mr. Combs is likely to pose a danger to the victims who testified in this case, including herself as well as the community. Deontay Nash, a stylist and friend of Cassie Ventura's who testified during the trial, wrote a letter to the judge urging him not to release Sean Combs in the wake of his mixed verdict. The prosecutor filed the letter along with their own, asking the judge not to set bail. Nash, who testified that he had seen Sean Combs beating Ms. Ventura, cited a long, well-documented history of violent, coercive, and retaliatory behavior, and said Mr. Combs should stay in custody. Mr. Nash wrote, Combs has repeatedly escaped meaningful accountability, and if released on Wednesday, I have no doubt he will see it as yet another license to continue intimidating, threatening, and harming people who challenge or expose him. He added that a decision to release Mr. Combs would be a profound mistake. Okay. We went through both of the letters earlier in the video before. They were quite lengthy from the prosecution and the defense. Then outside was Cassie Ventura's lawyer, Douglas Wigdor. He said that he was pleased that Mr. Combs had been held accountable for something. He's finally been held accountable for 2 federal crimes, something that he's never faced in his life. Okay, so I think why they're putting it in October, that's really pointing to giving him time served, because then he'll be over a year. He was fist pumping. So he only was found guilty on the counts 3 and 5, which are the lesser, and they are the transportation of the sex workers, and I wonder if he got out, he's going to go right back to freak-offs. Do you think he would go right back to having freak-offs? Probably. Let's see here. Oh, let's see what you're saying. He can still be sentenced up to 10 years on each. Yes, but if you went by their rating system, it wasn't that. Did you go through the prosecutors with us, her filing? You would think he would do at least 5 years, but hi, Denise. Hi, Heart. Let's see. Yeah, money talks. Money talks. 100% he's going to go back to freak-offs because he's a freak, and that's all that freaks know how to do. That's his thing. He's in deep kink, and freak-offs are his little forte, which he doesn't want taken away. That rhymes. His forte, which he doesn't want taken away. Okay. Now, let's turn to Bryan Kohberger, because I want to go over there's some statements from family, and so let me get the defense did go over evidence that they would have presented at trial had there been a trial. They gave an overview. And they didn't mention about if they were going to release the discovery after sentencing. So the evidentiary summary that was read by Bill Thompson spun a dramatic tale that included a DNA-laden Q-tip that was plucked from the garbage in the dead of night, a getaway car that he said he had stripped almost and rebuilt that car. So clean of evidence that it was essentially disassembled inside and re-put back together. He even said, you know, those little pockets on the inside of your car that are almost impossible to get completely clean were spotless. That's what he said, spotless. That fateful early morning DoorDash order that may have put one of the victims in Kohberger's path. These details offered new insights into how the crime unfolded November 13, 2022, and how investigators ultimately solved the case using the surveillance footage, the cell phone tracking, and the DNA matching. There's still hanging key questions that could have been answered at trial, including a motive for the stabbings and why he picked that house and those victims, who were all apparent strangers to him. They told how Kohberger had begun a doctoral degree in criminal justice at nearby Washington State University, months before the crimes. Thompson said the defendant has studied crime. In fact, he did a detailed paper on crime scene processing when he was working on his PhD, and he had that knowledge skill set. Kohberger's cell phone began connecting with cell towers in the area of the crime more than 4 months before the stabbings, and pinged on those towers 23 times between the hours of 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. in that time period. Compilation of surveillance videos from neighbors and businesses also placed Kohberger's vehicle, known to investigators because of a routine traffic stop by police in August in the area. On the night of the murders, Kohberger parked behind the house, and he entered through a sliding door to the kitchen at the back of the house shortly after 4 a.m. He moved to the 3rd floor where Madison Mogen and Kayla Gonsalves were sleeping. After he killed both of them with a knife, he left a knife sheath next to Madison Mogen's body. Both victims' blood was later found on that sheath, along with DNA from a single male that ultimately helped investigators pinpoint Kohberger as the only suspect. On the floor below, another student was still awake, Xana Kernodle. She ordered DoorDash not long before, and as Kohberger was leaving, he crossed paths with her and killed her with a large knife. He then killed her boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, who was sleeping in Kernodle's bedroom. He left 2 others in the house alive, including one roommate, who was expected to testify at trial that sometime before 4:19 a.m., she saw an intruder there with bushy eyebrows, wearing black clothing and a ski mask. Roughly 5 minutes later, the car could be seen on the next-door neighbor's surveillance camera, speeding away so fast the car almost loses control as it makes the corner. After Kohberger fled the scene, Thompson said that Kohberger's cover-up of the crime was elaborate. Prosecutors believe he drove backwards to his apartment in Pullman, Washington, to avoid surveillance cameras on the major roads, and didn't turn his cell phone back on until 4:48 a.m. By 5:26 a.m., he was back in Pullman. Later, he changed his car registration from Pennsylvania to Washington State, which was significant for investigators who were combing through surveillance camera footage because Pennsylvania law doesn't require a front license plate, making it harder to identify the vehicle. By the time investigators did catch up with him weeks later, his apartment and office in nearby Pullman were scrubbed clean. Spartan would be a kind characterization. There was nothing there. Nothing of evidentiary value was found. Thompson, talking about Kohberger's apartment. The car, too, had been essentially disassembled inside. It was spotless. The defendant's car had been meticulously cleaned inside, and I believe he said that the cleaners and stuff were next to the car in the Pennsylvania garage, I guess. Investigators honed in on Kohberger, but they needed to prove he was the suspect. With the DNA of a single mystery male on the knife sheath, they worked with the FBI and local sanitation department to secretly retrieve garbage from the Pennsylvania home of Kohberger's parents to seek a DNA match for their suspect. They conducted what's called a trash pull during the nighttime hours. They took trash that had been set out on the street for collection and sent it to the Idaho Forensics Lab. The pile of garbage yielded investigative gold, a Q-tip that contained DNA identified as coming from the father of the person whose DNA was found on the knife sheath that was found by Madison Mogen's body on the bed. With that, they arrested Kohberger at his parents' home in Pennsylvania, where he had gone for the holidays, and then they extradited him to Idaho for prosecution. Even while prosecutors detailed that night, a key question remains. Why did Kohberger target that house and those victims? Did he know them? What was his motive? Thompson said, "We do not have evidence that the defendant had direct contact with 1122 or with the residents in 1122, but we can put his phone in that area on those times." Some of the evidence may have come out at trial, and it may yet be contained in documents related to the case that have been sealed by the court until after a July 23rd sentencing hearing. Okay, they're going to release the discovery. Great. A gag order is placed for all attorneys in the case, is still in effect as well. Those documents include witness lists, a list of exhibits, an analysis of the evidence, requests for additional discovery, filings about mitigating factors, and various unsuccessful defense motions that sought to introduce alternative suspects, among other things. The families, again, they're split over the plea deal. The deal stipulates that Kohberger is going to be spared execution in exchange for pleading guilty to 4 consecutive life sentences as well as the burglary charge. He also waived his right to appeal and to challenge the sentence. The Chapins and Mogen's families were in support of the deal. The Mogen family said, "We now embark on a new path. We embark on a path of hope and healing." The family of Kaylee Gonsalves publicly denounced the plea deal ahead of Wednesday's hearing, and her father refused to attend the proceedings. Gonsalves' 18-year-old sister, Aubrey Gonsalves, said in a Facebook post that Bryan Kohberger facing a life in prison means he would still get to speak, form relationships, and engage with the world. Meanwhile, our loved ones have been silenced forever. Okay, I want to go here now. What's next? He's going to be sentenced. They asked how many victims' impact statements, but here's the thing. I did watch a interview, I guess it's News Nation, Ashley Banfield, with Steve Gonsalves, and he is so angry, and he says he and his family, they don't think they ever want to go back into a courtroom. He does not think they will be at the sentencing, and he doesn't want to read a victim's impact statement. He feels he failed his daughter. He should have had a prosecutor that cared more, to see that even taking one life for the life of 4 is imbalanced. But he feels that this is just injustice for his daughter, and he apologized to his daughter. And So if their family's not going to come and make those impact statements, well, then it could very well be one day, but it may spill over into 2 days. Now, let me get to some other family statements. Okay, let's see here. And the family of Bryan Kohberger have released a statement. They said, let's see here. Excuse me. I just... Hold on a minute. This just jumped on me. In light of recent developments, the Kohbergers are asking members of the media for privacy, respect, and responsible judgment during this time. We will continue to allow the legal process to unfold with respect to all parties and will not release any comments or take any questions. That was their statement on it. The Gonsalves family opposes the plea deal. They said in a Facebook post on Tuesday, "We stand strong that it's not over until the plea is accepted. We will not stop fighting for the life that was stolen unjustly." They said while we are cognizant that some may have wanted the plea, the prosecution relayed to us it was not a majority vote that was this deciding factor in offering this plea. At a bare minimum, pleas require a full confession, full accountability, location of the murder weapon, confirmation the defendant acted alone, and the true facts of what happened that night. We deserve to know when the beginning of the end was. Madison Mogen's father, Ben Mogen, said, "We can actually put this behind us and not have these future dates and future things that we don't want to have to be at, that we shouldn't have to be at, that have to do with this terrible person. We get to just think about the rest of our lives and have to try and figure out how to do it without Maddie and the rest of the kids." Okay, let's see what we got over here. Then Steve Gonsalves said on Wednesday that the deal failed his daughter. "I'm not going in there," Steve Gonsalves said as the rest of his family entered court. This is Steve Gonsalves outside the court. He refused to enter the courtroom. Meanwhile, the Mogen and Chapin families praised the deal, saying it spares the families the worst of a lengthy trial. Gonsalves said, "You betrayed us." In a new statement to the Latah County prosecutor, Bill Thompson, "This ain't justice. No justice presided. No jury weighed the truth. Thompson robbed us of our day in court." Kernoodle's father said that he does not agree with the plea deal, which he said he expressed to prosecutors after nearly 3 years of waiting and being told that there would be a trial with evidence presented to convict him. "I'm disappointed in the prosecutor's decision. Cornettle's aunt said that the prosecution told them it was to spare them from the reliving grisly details of the murders prosecutors would present to the jury at trial to obtain a conviction. She said, "We know the graphics. They're not trying to spare us." Mogen's father, meanwhile, said his family was dreading the upcoming trial, and they were relieved by the prosecution's move to strike a deal that he believes is fair. It's been this nightmare that's approaching in our heads. He expressed to prosecutors when they mentioned working on a deal last week. Mogen added that even if the state were to secure a death penalty, Kohberger would likely spend years on death row before his execution. And death, he argued, is a more lenient punishment because you don't have to spend decades thinking about how terrible you made the world. The Mogen family wants to put this behind us and not have these future dates and future things that we don't want to have to be at, that we shouldn't have to be at, that have to do with this terrible person. We get to just think about the rest of our lives and have to try to figure this out, how to do it without Maddie and the rest of the kids. Ethan Chapin's mother, Stacy Chapin, said that the family would be in court on Wednesday in support of the plea bargain. Okay, let's see here. The plea bargain also sparked backlash online, with the Loudoun County Prosecuting Attorney's Office inundated with negative Google reviews following news of the deal. And that's and phone calls, and that's what the judge had addressed about that stuff. Okay, now let's see. Okay, hold on a minute. There's something about this Disney probe into 5-year-old Disney cruise plunge debunks erroneous what? Okay, so they say that, hold on a minute, because I don't know how they got, I just don't get this. But let me see here. We talked about this last night, about this Disney cruise. I guess the ships were close to shore. I don't know. Let me see here. The father of the 5-year-old girl who fell overboard from a Disney cruise ship off the coast of Florida did not lift her up onto the railing before the accident. The little girl was not being held, as erroneously reported on some social media sites. The Broward County Sheriff's Office said on Tuesday, referring to speculation that the child's father had lifted her up for a photo before she fell backwards and into the ocean. She's 5 years old and she fell in that water, huh? After the little girl fell in, her father jumped into the ocean to save her and treaded water for more than 10 minutes until a rescue boat approached them. A fellow passenger also came to the dad's defense amid the speculation, insisting that a crew member told her that the little girl scaled the protective barrier. The crew member who said that's her station and she was on the 4th floor. She did say that she was climbing up and the parents were playing shuffleboard and the dad jumped in after her. Shannon was on a lower deck with her family waiting to meet Disney princesses when she saw something really fast fly by. She said, I just figured it was part of a show or just an experience, but about 5 minutes later we heard that someone flew overboard. Deck 4, where the girl and her family were when she fell, is less crowded than the other decks on the ship and contains shuffleboard courts. Protective barrier is on the deck, although there were little divots and spaces that make it so you can climb. That's great. The little girl is lucky to be alive, and the Disney crew snapped into action immediately. Based on media reports I've read, the Disney crew was well prepared. While there doesn't appear to be anything suspicious, Broward Sheriff's Office detectives are investigating the circumstances that led up to the child falling overboard. The family is so blessed. It's great to be able to respond to good news rather than what could have been a tragic outcome. Yeah, I don't know anybody that's fallen off something like that and that he got in there and got in the same place. It's just crazy. Right? Okay, let me see here. Let me go over here. See where you guys are. Okay. Hi, Justina. How are you? Sassy. Hello there. It wasn't 10 minutes, White Angel said. It was 20 minutes later. He treaded water with his daughter for about 20 minutes. It said 10 there. I don't know. Well, the biggest miracle of all was that he could find her amongst those waves. I know, that's what I said. The truest miracle of all, God was seriously on their side. Thank you, dear Lord, for saving those two humans. Amen. Yes, that's amazing. It's amazing that they were saved. Amazing. Grace. How sweet the sound. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Okay, you know what? They're talking about what I've been talking about for so long. You remember those 3 little girls and the dad that's missing? And I kept saying to you guys, where are the bloody handprints from? Where are the bloody handprints from? What's going on with the bloody handprints? They're finally talking about the bloody handprints. There's the manhunt for Travis Decker, the father accused of killing his 3 daughters, near a Washington state campground, reaches the 1-month mark. DNA found at the scene of the crime now links the murders to the fugitive father. Paitlin Decker, 9, Evelyn Decker, 8, and Olivia Decker, 5, were killed after they left home for a planned visitation with Decker on May 30th. And they were found near the Rock Island campground in Washington on June 2nd. Decker's vehicle was discovered unoccupied near the girls' bodies, and that there were bloody handprints found on the tailgate of his truck and matches the DNA profile that we believe is Decker's. Well, we knew that, right? With this evidence, we do not have any reason to believe there are any other suspects, but why were his hands bloody? That's the thing, right? Authorities say they are continuing the multi-agency search for Decker, saying the National Park Service is also planning to send out swift water search and rescue teams in the near future to conduct more searches of the bodies of water around the crime scene. I remember this podcast I was listening to where this little boy disappeared by this lake. It was in Canada, and it was like, someone must know something. I think it was the name of it. Drones, cadaver cadaver and tracking dogs are also continuing to be used in the search efforts. The U.S. Marshal Service is still offering a $20,000 reward for information that leads to Decker's arrest. Till he is taken into custody or recovered, we will continue these efforts. We are extremely grateful for the continued leadership, dedication, and support from all of our search teams. At this time, officials say they do not have evidence to suggest Mr. Decker is alive or deceased. Todd McGee, a law enforcement and security analyst and former Massachusetts state trooper, said last week that he believes Decker is alive. Decker is described as 5'8", black hair, brown eyes, last seen wearing a light shirt and dark shorts. Let's see, they have a new suspect flyer, so let's show that. Okay, hang on. Well, oh, here we are. These are new images on the suspect. Okay, updated photos. It's considered dangerous, may be armed, do not approach, call 911. Below are some photos of how he could potentially have altered his appearance. Alrighty. And that is news on that there. Let's see. All right, let me go back to where I was. There. Small plane crashes. Another one. This is crazy, right? This one in New Jersey in a mass casualty incident. Crashed Wednesday evening in a wooded area. Hold on, I'm trying to see. I want to see what part of New Jersey here. Okay. Let me get a graphic up over there. I cannot believe how many planes are crashing. It's just crazy. Okay, come on. There we go. All right. That's the scene, and that's not what I want there. Okay, the Gloucester, a skydiving airplane is what it was. It crashed Wednesday after it went off the end of a runway in New Jersey at an airport.
Amazon offers shipping and logistics support for small businesses.
Okay. The Cessna 208B was departing Cross Keys Airport in Monroe Township at about 5:30 p.m. That's when the incident happened, according to the FAA spokesperson. The aircraft was carrying 15 people. Gloucester County Emergency Management said multiple agencies are assisting with the mass casualty incident. 5 people who were injured were expected to be transported to Cooper University Hospital in Camden. The airport serves mostly private passenger planes. So does that mean there was no fatalities, I hope, right? Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you about. Hold on a minute. I know what I wanted to tell you about. Hold on. Okay. Let's see what I want to do on this one. I want to do right there. So the executions are going on like gangbusters, and we have now another. Let me see here. When is he supposed to? July 31st. Okay, let's see. Michael Bernard Bell, 54 years old, is set to die by lethal injection. I believe they just said July 15th, but then they just said July 31st. He is convicted of fatally shooting. This is not the one I'm talking about. Wait a minute. He's one of the ones but I'm talking about the one that killed his wife and kids. 1 second. Yeah, the one that killed his family after his wife wanted a divorce. That's the one I'm talking about. Edward, let me try to get this last name. Zacharuski, the second, is set to die on July 31st in the 9th execution scheduled for this year. He pled guilty in 1996 to 3 counts of first-degree murder, 1996, and received 3 death sentences in the murders of his wife, Sylvia Zacharuski, son Edward Zacharuski, 7, and Anna Zacharuski, 5. The man beat his wife with a crowbar and a machete and strangled her to death. He beat her with a crowbar and a machete. And then he still strangled her. She was, oh my gosh. Killed the children with a machete. June 9th, 1994, in Okaloosa County. He eventually turned himself in. I don't think I've ever heard of this case. After the case was profiled on the show Unsolved Mysteries. Another man on death row, Michael Bernard Bell, 54, is set to die by lethal injection July 15th at Florida State Prison. He is convicted of killing 2 people outside a bar. And then Thomas Lee Gudinas, 51, was convicted of R-ing and killing a woman in Florida, was executed following a lethal injection at the same prison last week. So let me see here. How old is... They have that going on there, okay? Let's see what else I wanted to tell you about. I had a really nice swim today, in case you were wondering. really long swim. I took it with Ethan and Luke, and it was really nice. Really nice. Okay, let me see here. Blueberry recall. Located to the highest level. Jimmy just bought me blueberries, so let's see what those are about. A blueberry recall has been upgraded to the highest possible level over contamination. I want to cut my watermelon. I'm so thirsty right now. Okay. Let's see what this is. Alma Pack International LLC voluntarily recalled 400 boxes weighing 30 pounds each of its organic blueberries June 9th. Oh, I guess. Okay, I've already eaten them if that's the ones that they are. For possible Listeria monocytogenes, disease-causing bacteria during routine testing. On Tuesday, the FDA elevated the blueberry recall to a Class 1, the highest risk level. The recalled blueberries were shipped to a single customer in North Carolina. A single customer in North Carolina? What? The affected product can be identified by the lot numbers 13325 G1060. If I bought those at June 9th, they'd be gone already. And 13325 G1096. As noted by the CDC, Listeria is a bacteria that can contaminate many foods. Okay. Let me see here. There's ready-made. I don't know. Alma Pack. I don't know, guys. There's somebody in North Carolina has them. And I bet they're not good anymore because blueberries don't, unless you're freezing them. I mean, come on. Oh my gosh, a Delta flight leaving Atlanta loses a piece of its wing in a North Carolina driveway. This is what I mean. Who wants to fly now? This is crazy. I think this is something, it's just nuts, right? Let me see what happened here. Delta wing flap found in the driveway of a North Carolina home. FAA says part of Delta wing flap was found on a Raleigh driveway from a Delta Airlines jet. Crazy. I don't know. What is going on? Who feels comfortable getting on a plane now? Feel great getting on a plane? No thanks. I'll drive. Okay. Delta Airlines informed the FAA that an inspection of Flight 3247 after it landed safely Tuesday at Raleigh-Durham International Airport revealed part of a wing flap was missing. Oh my gosh. Okay. Crazy. Something like is either so wrong. The planes are old. I remember when the DC-10s were old. I remember going to Florida and looking up and you saw the roof of the plane where it was connected like with the rivets and it was going up and down, up and down, up and down. It was crazy scary. Two bicyclists dead after being struck by vehicles in Houston. showing 70. Okay. Just trying to see if there's over 143,000 pounds of deli meat recalled. Okay, I think we went through all that. Let's see. The viral Chinese toy, the Labubu. The Labubu. Taking the world by storm. Okay. All right, let's see what else is going on. I don't see anything there. And Margaret is still alive. She's 84, huh? Meghan Markle. She issues refunds to customers for a new product after as ever mishap. What happened to Miss Markle? I was watching her show that time, and it really wasn't that bad. She wasn't as bad as... She does know a lot about cooking and doing things. You know, she really does. Let's see. She has issued a refund to customers who bought a certain product from her, as ever, company, because of a latest business mishap. On June 20th, the Duchess of Sussex... Why is she the Duchess? I thought they had to drop their... That's what I don't understand. They had to drop their titles, I thought. But then she uses it, right? Yeah, I don't know. She launched a round of new products from her brand, including a limited edition Orange Blossom Honey. Well, Orange Blossom Honey is so good, and it's so hard to find. And an apricot spread. She also restocked some of the products she debuted in April, like flower sprinkles, crepe mix, and herbal teas. To no one's surprise, the products sold out soon after they were launched, and as it turns out, there weren't enough to go around. Many shoppers learned on Wednesday, when they got an email from As Ever, that they weren't getting their apricot spread that they ordered nearly 2 weeks ago. No apricot spread for you. On behalf of the As Ever customer service team, we want to thank you for your support and purchase on June 20th. We are refunding your purchase of this item by the end of this week. Still, that doesn't mean that the refunded customers won't receive the spread. The email continues. We want you to know that when the apricot spread is back in stock, you will be the first to receive it, free of charge. It's not the first time that the As Ever has experienced a business snafu. In April, Meghan also offered a special deal to customers who bought products from her business after they had sold out. At the time, many shoppers got an email from As Ever where they learned that they weren't going to get their limited edition honey that they paid for. Instead, they were getting a full refund and an item of their choice for free. They were also notified that they'd be the first to receive the next limited item when it dropped. In addition, Meghan sent out a signed message and an apology to customers who bought an As Ever product after it sold out. She said, "Dear friend, my goodness, what a whirlwind this week has been. Thank you so much for the support. It really means so much to me. I was so sorry to hear about what happened with your order, and that due to overselling, they oversold, we're not able to get you the limited edition honey." On Monday, Megan officially launched as Ever's first alcoholic beverage, a 2023 Napa Valley Rosé. The drink starts at $90 for 3 bottles, plus $20 flat rate shipping, meaning that you spend $110 to try it. Shoppers could also opt for a 6-bottle package for $159, or a 12-bottle case for $300. Those are due to begin shipping July 9th. All of the rosé sold out in less than an hour. She's a marketing genius. As Ever's product releases come after Megan said her company is still expanding. During an interview with Fast Company in May, she said she's planning to assess new avenues for her brand, with more As Ever products to be announced during the first quarter of 2026. And granted, listen, she films her show not at their home. She films her show at a set home, okay? So I believe they rent it for the purpose of filming the show. So when she walks in, she does make these people ripped on her because she took Trader Joe pretzels and she repackaged them in little bags with little tags. If that's the worst she's doing, okay, hey. But she had her friend over and she was cutting stuff with him. Well, the first thing he does is cuts his finger. Now he's bleeding all over the place, which is getting me grossed out. But she's not grossed out by it. She grabs some Band-Aids. I don't know. From what I've always heard about her, you would just expect her to be so snooty, snobby, not doing the things she's doing. She's in the kitchen. She is cooking. She does have knowledge of cooking techniques. Now, she gets ripped for that too, but she really does. Yet, let me tell you, she's dealing with everything stocked, everything done for her. She's walking in. She has vegetables. She's going to do them. They're right there. The knives are there. There's nothing to worry about. She doesn't have kids running in and out. Mom, can you get me this? Mom, can you get me that? She doesn't have all these little nuances. So she's cooking there on a set, like Martha Stewart does, right? Everything's there. It's easy. I mean, if you like to cook and everything, it's a beautiful way to do it. If you just walk in to a model home and everything is there for you, right? And she's making all this stuff like, oh, I just love to make these bath salts for my guest, and I'm going to put these in the guest room. So having all that, yeah. And then she gets a label and she stamps it, and then she has this other friend over. I don't know was there a death? I think that lady's husband that she had over died, right? That, wasn't she a Spanish model from like Barcelona? I don't know if it was her husband that died, the polo guy that was Harry's friend as well. So she had her over. I saw that. She even had her mother over. Then she had these girls over. I don't know who they were. I forget who they were, but they made fish. And she knows how to bone the fish and everything. So it's like she does know how to do stuff like that. She's not as annoying as people made it out to be. I don't know. It wasn't. But there were still these really bad, these people that said, oh, it was terrible. They couldn't stand it. I don't know. Scooter gets mad if I say it. Sure, after you prep, people get all things ready. Right, and they clean all your dishes and they do everything and they set everything up for the next day. I know how to do it. That's what happens, yeah. Like a show doesn't have millions. Like, show doesn't have millions already, yeah. Well, isn't it true people are buying her name? Yeah, but like if she has so many haters, but then everything's selling out, who knows? You know, I don't know. The only episodes I watched with you. Yeah, those are the only ones I watched too, Bucky. I don't know if we had seen some before you where her friend cut his finger and it was bleeding. And she's like, oh my gosh, look at you. You've already cut your finger on the knife. And it was a paring knife. And people were going crazy. Like that other lady. Right? Isn't she the one that flipped out that they were using a paring knife? I think she flipped out too on Martha Stewart, or somebody flipped out on Martha Stewart, or Martha Stewart said somebody was using a knife that was too small. Something, I don't know. Hi, Murder of Crows, how are you? They made the candle, yes, they made the candle, that's right. They made candles. I mean, she did it. I mean, I got to give her credit that she did it, right? Because you could get a lot of people up there that can't do that. I'm sorry. And a lot of really, oh, we'll get their help to do that. She wasn't like that. She was right in there cooking, and she wasn't acting all stuck up or anything. She wasn't. She was doing a lot. And then there were these jokes, well, maybe she could have cooked at the palace, you know? Or, you know, it was, I mean, crazy things. So, I don't know. But I know from the beginning when she said she got engaged to Harry that they were cooking a chicken when they got engaged. So she's always liked cooking. If anything, I think he's like standoffish and stuff. I don't. It seems like he's not even like of this world. You know, I don't get it. I don't. Hi, Super Chat. Cat, how are you? Say hi to you, Murder of Crows. How are you? So how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? No one likes Meghan and Harry. Yeah, I know. And why did they get to keep their titles, Murder of Crows? I thought they were stripped of their titles. I'm lost on that one. And I know that she got very angry. Well, I don't know if she got very angry, but she told someone, don't call her Meghan Markle. She's not a Markle. I guess not everyone buys into the hate. I just don't know. I thought they were stripped of their royal titles. Hi, little lady. Maybe she learned how to cook the yacht off the waters of the Atlantic coast, as she was known to be a yacht girl. Some people just love to hate her. She wasn't as bad as I thought, actually. I mean, she knew how to do things. Just saying. Don't shoot the messenger. That's very good. Growing, growing, growing. Thanks to the British press, you say? I don't know. Adriatic coast, not Atlantic. Okay. So, can anybody answer me on what the question I asked about Denmark? They were stripped in England, but America are calling her by that title. Okay. Was she living in Toronto? She said she regularly volunteered at a soup kitchen. Good. Hi, it's just me. You're finally caught up? Good. Very good. Very, very, very good. Can anybody answer that question about Denmark? Does anybody remember the question I asked about Denmark? The question, Bucky-Ann, about Denmark? Denmark and the bar of chocolate? Oh my gosh. When Gia was up for Ethan's graduation, like the day we were on the lake and all swimming and stuff, had some people over that had not, and she's like, Carolyn, can I tell them the chocolate story with the Aldi's chocolates? And my son said, he goes, I wouldn't get that either, Gia. You'd have to say, can I have some can I try that? You know? So he stuck up for me. No, I coughed and all I heard was Denmark. Okay. I'm just joking. I'm just joking to see how you kids were listening. How you kids were listening. They were not stripped of their titles. I thought that they were. I thought they had to give up their titles. I thought that's what was going on. She's still Her Royal Highness. Your Royal Highness, get off your high horse. Your Royal Highness. Yeah, there was no question about Denmark. I was just joking. Carlin. Or no, she came into the comments and called me Mom. You guys missed that. How many of you saw that? See, if you're really astute, you saw that. She said, Mom, the cake was really good and we had a great time and I love to laugh. She came in the comments. They still have their titles, but they agreed not to use them. But she is using them. Murder of Crows. She is using them. Is she allowed to use them in America and just not use them in England? You know what? I don't think I ever turned off my swim. Hold on a minute. I don't think I ever rotated my crown either. And now my phone died. I mean, my watch died. She came in the comments. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She came in under my son's YouTube name. I think it was, I forget, it wasn't last night, it was the one when I was talking about the day we had, the fun day we had, and that we were on the paddle boat together and we were laughing like crazy. Nobody in the UK recognizes them as royal now. They are pathetic. Is that what they're called? Pathetic? You guys are pathetic. You guys are pathetic individuals. You mean they won't be ordering her rosé? What is her company's name? As Ever? What is that, As Ever? Is that a play on words or something? What is that, As Ever? Is that the show she was on? As Ever? No, wasn't she on Suits? I don't know. I don't know if you're on real time. Where are let me tell you, where are Scooter and where is Binky? So what's everybody got planned for the 4th of July? 4th of July, I'm gonna do fireworks. Now tomorrow, I don't know if I'm gonna do it tomorrow or Saturday. They're probably gonna have nice fireworks too. I'd like to, I don't know, I'll see what the weather's like, and my aunt's gonna be up, so we're gonna be, by my aunt. But Sunday, it's either going to be tomorrow or Sunday. I have to go shopping. I have to get some outfits for the trial, right? What should I wear to the trial? What would you wear to the trial? What would you wear? You are putting on your TV air conditioner really loud as your dog doesn't hear the fireworks. And you are heading to your family camp. Now, what does that mean, family camp? Tell me what that means. What kind of camp? Carolyn, wear a suit. Do you have a beautiful white blouse with a vest? And just keep your jacket on you with a pair of black slacks. Okay, hold on a minute. Get a beautiful white blouse with a vest. And just keep your jacket on you with a black pair of slacks. Okay, that's a good idea. Black and white. Okay. Hello, Christine. How are you? Christine. Is family camp a campground with a camping spot? Little lady says it's on a river. We have 5 acres with a kitchen and a campfire and fun. That sounds fun. Okay. I would wear something feminine and pretty, Murder of Crow says. Okay. I would wear a nice blouse and some slacks, says Heart Made Wise. Yes, a feminine blouse. Okay. You want to dress professional because that's how you want to come across physically and in person. Looks say a lot about a person. If you have a pinstripe suit, that would be ideal. If not, then pants and a nice top, says Christine. Yes, a pretty blouse. Okay, well, I'll go out. I have to go out either tomorrow or Sunday. White Angel says, just improvise. Like I said, a white blouse, long sleeves. Make sure it's long sleeves because that's respect to the court. And a vest, and just hold the jacket in your hand. Okay, and then when you get where? Do you mean vest undershirt or vest outerwear, White Angel? Just wear cutoff shorts, flip-flops, and a tank top. Right, Sassy? Hey, it's summer. Who wears short shorts? Okay. I just learned that some people say vest when they mean undershirt, really. Did you learn that? Where did you learn that? I haven't learned that. I've learned cami sometimes means an undershirt or like a camisole. Vest, outerwear, is in a three-piece suit. The pants, the vest, and the jacket. Do you mean vest like a waistcoat? Oh, I could see where we're going with this here. Little Lady says, just nice office attire. That would look nice, White Angel, Heart Made Wise said. Super Chat says, I would wear an outfit. They criticize. Express used to have some nice dress suits when I needed them. Haven't been there recently. Or you could wear a shirt with Twisted Sister on it that says, we're not going to take it anymore. Right, yeah. Denise says, curl your hair and put on your nice makeup. And you wear your nice eyeliner. It looks really good on you, Carolyn. So, is there going to be a jury or not? No, we're doing the bench trial. Murder of Crows, says White Angel. Ha 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 ha. Let's see. I actually, if you read, I put a update on the legal fund, and I put it on the community post. It tells you when everything is and what time and where we are and all that. Let's see here. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. There's a lot of places I can go to find that stuff. Yeah, I'm good. Shoot, I'm good with that, Sassy, because the facts are the facts. The judge is a very good judge. Contrary to what other people are saying, that the judge is biased, that's a huge insult to a federal judge. Making songs about a federal judge, mocking the whole procedure, that's not too cool. That kind of stuff is not cool. But think about what a huge insult that is, that the opposite party and friends are going around like trying to intimidate me, that the judge hates me and it's a terrible decision, right? Isn't that what they're saying? And that the judge is pissed off at me and biased when he's a chief justice there, like the head. Do you understand that to say that about an honorable federal judge is like the worst thing that you could do? It's so insulting, and it shows that you're making a mockery of the whole process, of his judicial power, of his, that he is going to be impartial and fair. That's crazy to do that. Why would they say that about him? That's what he is fair and impartial. I was going to recommend Express or White House Black Market. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go into, I think, Music Mountain to go to a White House Black Market. How would they know? That's the thing. But no, they assume. And you know what happens when you assume? You make an ass out of you and me. And I don't think any of them have been to a federal court, because I don't think they would be playing games like that and making songs about a judge and laughing about them. You always love the storefront of White House Black Market. But anyway, we have the facts. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm not going to give them any free advertising. Don't worry about it. Just ridiculous. Anyway. I'm excited. Monday. So, tomorrow should be the auction. Unless I'm out really late, but I don't think I'd be out really late. I'm going to try not to do that. Probably end up going. I'll have to see what the weather's going to be. Because if the weather's going to rain Saturday or something, afternoon, maybe I'll go out then. I don't know. There was a White House Black Market. I believe it is in Music. Or Mystic, what do they call it? Mystic Mountain? No, what do they call it? It's Music, but there's another name for it. So, anyway. Yes, the videos, he denied their motion, Sassy. They didn't want the videos shown, but he denied the motion. So the videos and their content can be discussed and shown. Just Stay steadfast in your beliefs and in yourself. And as my father would always say, still waters run deep. Remain calm and professional always, and everything will be fine. Thank you, What Angel. Yeah. I've seen judges get very hot under the collar at the suggestion that they could be biased in any way by anything. Exactly, and that is kind of what the judge in Kohberger's case said, like, I can't be swayed. You can't have all these calls coming in to the office to try to sway. And that's not like they weren't even calling him biased. They were kind of bombarding with what to do, and said, I'm not going to, that's just like taking up time, and it's taking up resources and stuff, and I'm not going to do that. Right? And I thought, well, how timely. How timely that they would say that when, there's such a cavalier attitude towards talking about a judge as if like they know the judge and the judge is conferring with them or acting in any type of a biased way, which we know that they're not. Yes, they did. They said the judge was pissed off at me putting, and that it was pretty stupid for me to be going to a bench trial with a judge that's pissed off at me. And laughing and laughing and laughing. Who made the song? I believe it was Jewels of Thought that made the song. And they played it. And laughed at it and said how much they loved it. Your guess is as good as mine putting as to what's wrong. But not very Is it Mystic River? No, it's not. It's Montage Mountain. Montage Mountain. That's what it's called. It's music too. You're a bit disappointed in the whole Diddy debacle. Well, so is Rough and Ready, and so are a lot of people. I think Evie is really upset about it too. Oh, of course she has to chime in with her own narrative of everything, right? She went after me. But of course she spins it, right? She always has. And she's totally irrelevant, and then she just crawls out of the woodwork like a person that just can't wait to be front and center. No, it's mall call, Carolyn. Mall call. That's what you mean, Sassy. Mall call, Carolyn. It's mall call. No, it's not. Yeah, piling on. Piling on. But anyway, hey, I heard, what'd I hear? Oh, I don't know what I heard. What did I hear? No worries, truth is on your side. Yep. That's all. It's what it is. It is what it is. This case is about, did I consider fair use before I submitted the DMCA takedowns? That's what it is. Anyway, what am I going to say? What else is going on? Diddy is over, except for the sentencing, which they say now is not going to come until October. Bryan Kohberger is July 23rd. Karen Reed is over. What else do we have coming up? Donna Adelson, which I don't know when that's been continued to. What else do we have? We'll see if they'll release the discovery, like they're saying. That sounds like they are after sentencing for Kohberger. That'll be a lot of stuff to go through. What else? Carolyn, just an offside topic question here. Have you heard Flo on the Go? Yeah, I heard from her a little while back. She's been very, very ill. She said she was still around, but I think she was like in and out of the hospital. So prayers for her. And Flo on the Go, if you can hear us. We love you. We're praying for you. The Vallow sentencing. Okay, but like with Lori Vallow, does it really, really matter anymore about sentencing? You know what I'm saying? She's already got so many convictions. It's kind of ridiculous at this point, but that interview was crazy. You should open the phone lines. Okay, I'll open the phone lines. If anybody wants that's not in Slack to call in, you can email me. I'll open the phone lines to talk about Diddy or Kohberger. Diddy did it. Yeah, I can't say I'm shocked at Diddy because I knew there was something up with the defense wanting them to decide on that last count. They were then more than confident that there was going to be not guilty. No, wait a minute. Is this me? No. This one? No. Where the heck is the, now, how did I look? Okay, there you go, guys. I swear I look at the same tab over and over and it changes. Looney Lori likes the attention, but she really keeps her hair nice in prison. I mean, she should tell people how she does that hair in prison. You know what I mean? She has getting it colored and she's got like lots of volume, right? She's really got, she's rocking the prison hair. She is. She's rocking the prison hair. You got to say that. I'm rocking the lake hair. This lake hair is just right out of the lake. I kept trying to wipe your mouse pointer off my screen. Where's my mouse? Oh, is it there? Okay, is it gone now? All right. Now you move it though. Oh, sorry. Looks like something. Hair looks like something from the Hair Bear bunch. I don't know. We have to schedule when we're going to eat our cheeseburgers. Yeah, I know. With lots of ketchup and mustard. Miracle Whip. Tomatoes, pickles, lettuce. The juicier the better. Yeah, we have to do that. We're going to have a messy cheeseburger eating panel. Lots of love to you, Carolyn. I'm going to try to get some sleep. Okay. You're going to attend next Wednesday's auction. I have to work Friday, but have a blessed night. Tomorrow's Thursday. We're going to have the auction on Thursday, I think, Denise. What is Miracle Whip? Miracle Whip is kind of like a mayonnaise, right? But they call it a salad dressing, but it's like the consistency of mayonnaise. I don't use mayonnaise, so, and there's people that go, oh, I can't use Miracle Whip. I got to use Hellmann's or whatever kind of mayonnaise they eat. But I'm not a mayonnaise person. Even though when I was a little kid, I used to like mayonnaise on bread when I was like 4. But I don't want mayonnaise now. Thank you. Oh, it's a sweeter mayo. Is that what it is, little lady? Okay. You remember she swims with eagles. Oh, was that my nickname? I do swim with eagles, but... I do swim with eagles. You don't like it either. My mom used Miracle Whip. I don't know. Couldn't you always have a lot to say call in? Oh, I think you meant not somebody, pudding you probably said, and it came out couldn't. I hate talk to text. It always comes out ridiculous. Pudding, you always have a lot to say. You should call in. Pudding. Pudding, pudding, pudding. Where's Scooter? We haven't heard any idea. Has anybody seen Scooter? She's completely antisocially. And where's Binky? Binky was very crazy. She just texted me like WTH about Diddy, I guess. Siri is ridiculous. I don't mind her changing it when I'm typing, but I don't like it when it's finished and then I press send and then it's like something else that one time that happened to me so bad, it changed everything and it was just so ridiculous what it put in there. Scooter is putting up her sandwich board outside of the courthouse. She's measuring where her sandwich board for the pro Carolyn line should be. Oh my goodness. They are probably both having a cookie and cry night over Diddy. You're coloring your hair? Maybe if I get finished and Carolyn's still on. Don't you have to leave it in your hair for a while? What stage are you at? If you're at like the 30-minute time where you have to leave it in, you could call. If you want. If you want it. Aren't we all having a cookie and cry night over Diddy? I don't know. It's like, Carolyn, I will tell you something. I don't know if you know this or not, but when I was a little girl, I was probably 6 or 7, and I kept hearing the word Americans. And I didn't know what Americans meant. So I asked, and do you know what I was told? I was told Americans were a bunch of people who are very rude and like to see each other, or like to sue each other. Well, they say New Yorkers are very rude in general. I'll never forget when the first time we went down to Florida with our kids. My daughter Alexandra was like 8 or 9. 9? No, she was. Let me see. Yeah, she was. Maybe she was 10. And the first thing she wanted to do when we were like in, I think it was North Carolina, and then in Georgia, she wanted to show everybody that all New Yorkers are not rude. That's what she said. You just finished making everything. You've still got to put it in. I had already started by the time I heard you say you were opening the phone lines. No see, but sue. Right. They like to sue each other. Mm-hmm. That was interesting. So, Linda must be going. Well, Dave is over at Linda's. Did you know that? He's been there for like a week. And tomorrow they're going somewhere. Well, tomorrow they're going to get company. So Linda probably went to bed early. And Scooter, I believe she's at the cottage, right? And everybody's getting ready. Like a lot of people are up here. A lot. We were visiting with my neighbors, and it's funny. My one neighbor, he's describing somebody, and he goes like this. He has bald hair. Instead of a bald head, he said he has bald hair. And it's just funny because it's funny, yeah. Yes, I do. Murder of Crows. Thank you. How far is the courthouse? Not very far. Yes, I don't live far from the courthouse. It'll be a couple of days at least. Hope you guys don't stay at the EC. Oh, we're not staying at a hotel. We don't live far from the courthouse. Thank you. Thank you, Murder of Crows. I appreciate that. And then Gia and I were going to go somewhere on this thing on the 12th, and now we're going to go, what'd she say, the 19th. But we're going to have fun on the 19th. And we'll do a lot of videos. Oh, yeah. Easily, White Angel. Easily. In fact, I used to take my older kids to reptile shows out there where that is. So. You're packing to go up north tomorrow for a week. Up north. Okay. I don't even know what the weather. I hate looking at the weather to see what the weather's going to be like for this weekend, but I hope that it's going to be nice and hot and stuff so we can get lots of swimming in. Let me just see what the weather's going to be like. Let's see. Because right now it's 60 degrees. Humidity is at 90%. But there's a nice cold breeze coming in. It says at 3 a.m., we're supposed to get a storm. At 6 a.m., we're supposed to have sun. 9 a.m., partly sunny, partly sunny. It's supposed to be 80 degrees by 9 a.m. 85, yes. Okay, hold on a minute. It's supposed to be 74 for the high on tomorrow, sunny, no clouds. 80, which is nice, on Saturday, partly sunny. Sunday, 85, nice sunny day. Monday, 87, beautiful, partly sunny. Tuesday, 79, partly sunny. So we're not going to have rain until Thursday, so that's great. It's great in a way, but that's not like I want to go shopping for stuff because I want to stay out in the lake. Okay. But it does look like nice weather. Nice swimming and nice weather for the 4th. We got a lot of people up. I've got to get my herbs in pots tomorrow. I have to do that. And I have to transplant some other things. I have to get that done, and I have to get my sunflowers done, and I have to do that tomorrow. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Let me see here. Everything is so far behind with all of that stuff because just the way the weather was this year was crazy. And now let me get rid of this stuff. Close those tabs to the right. Okay. Nice weather over the weekend. Yeah. It's been very hot there, a little lighty. Yeah. I like the summers to be hot. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. You sent me one? I haven't even, you know what? Linda asked me the same thing, and so did manager. Let me check. Because I've been running around. Let's see. Let me check. Yes. Let me see. Is that? Hold on a second. Let me see what this is. That is you. Yeah, I got it. Yep. Okay. And let's see. I want to see something on it. Linda. You know, manager said, you know what I think? What happened to manager? Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, thank you, manager. All right. Yes, I got it because I know she asked me in Slack. If you're listening, manager, yeah, just take a check. Yes, thank you very much. And White Angel, I got yours. Thank you. And how come I don't see? You know, Debbie Scooter, she just put it over there. It doesn't, I hate when it does that. When you send a request and then the payment comes in, but it doesn't cancel your request, so it still looks like you have an outstanding request, but it's not. Hate that. I don't know why PayPal does that. Okay. Anyway. So that's all good. That's all good. Okay, where was I now? Where's your chat? There. So, let's see. My eyes, why are my eyes feeling dry now? Murder of Crows. You have 90s, that's good. And Margaret Gibson. Oh, I can't see what you said because you retracted what you said. Hi, thanks for coming in, Margaret. How you doing? So what else is going on? The Idaho 4, that new documentary, that when did I say that was dropping? Did I say July 11th? Is that what I said last night, or did I say July 17th? Does anybody remember? I think it's July 11th, right? July 11th. Margaret Gibson. So, what else is good? Anybody watch anything good on TV? You know what I mean by TV. Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max. What else? I'd like to do some more sewing. Sewing and swimming. You know what never made any sense to me about the Idaho 4 case? It was really strange that they demolished the home before the case was even heard, before they even knew how it was going to go. Yeah, I know there were people that were divided about that. They said that everybody got what they needed out of that, and it was just a horrible reminder of what happened, and nobody would ever want to be there. You know, I don't know. Like, what if the jury wanted to go see where this happened? I think they took all of that, White Angel, the measurements and lots of video and all of that, but still, yeah. Still, yes, 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 yes. You watch the final Squid Games. I've never watched any of the Squid Games. Like, the prosecution was saying it happened. Like, I'm just really shocked that the house got demolished. I think I just got demolished way too soon. They should have waited till the case was finalized. You haven't been watching TV, outdoor stuff. Yeah, me too, right? Exactly. Copper. I don't know who that is. Grateful Pez. Copper? Have no idea. What was I going to say? Tomorrow's July 3rd. So the 4th is on a Friday. That's good because then people always wait for the 4th to have their fireworks. I wonder if they will do the big stuff Friday, because sometimes then you think like Saturday is going to be it's going to be another day. The Better Sister on Amazon was really good. The Better Sister? I don't know if you told me that. Do you have to pay for that? Almost everything that I ever go to look for on Amazon, you've got to pay for, even though you have Prime. It's so crazy, right? BC First Nations ghost stories. Oh, are you saying about things to watch Okay, I hear you now. Documentary Train Wreck, The Poop Cruise. Is that the one where they had to poop in plastic bags? That was so long ago, though, Bucky. They just made something about that now? That had to be like in 2004. Or, how could I say? I don't know. No, it's a series. What's a series? Oh, the Amazon? But you don't have to pay for it? Thanks. I don't think I can watch that, Bucky Ann. The gross factor might be too much. What is it on? It's on Netflix, you said? Netflix. Netflix. What is it? The other sister? What, see, I already forgot what the name is. Isn't that crazy? What did you say? They don't show gross stuff. But is it about that, Bucky Ann? That had to happen like 20 years ago, right? More than 20 years ago. I believe that, unless I'm having like a Mandela effect, I believe that happened. As I remember being on like a cruise in Florida, like a day cruise, and thinking about that, how that happened then, and talking about that. That's what I think. But then sometimes I think stuff like that and I find out, how, no, it couldn't have been 2013. It couldn't be. It could not be. I have a recollection of being on a cruise like in 2004, 2003. Oh, The Better Sister. I don't know. I think it... See, that's really freaky to me. Because if you asked me about that, I'd say that I could remember being on a cruise and they were saying something about... Maybe was I watching something and I just put myself there. Thought for sure we were on that casino cruise thingy. I don't know. It's weird. Okay. It was. I just watched it. Okay, that's weird. Now I'm having a Mandela effect or whatever the heck I have. It's weird. It's just me. That must be a show about me, the better sister. About us all, right? Interesting. What time is it? It's 3 o'clock in the morning already. We better do word cookies. Can't believe it. No wonder I'm tired. I want to go to the new Hobby Lobby. I really do. What happened? I want to go to the new Hobby Lobby. I really, 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 really do. And I wanted to go... I don't know, we'll see. This is a small one. We've got a dead. No, they don't care about and. Okay. It's always gin. Always. I've never come to one puzzle that doesn't have those letters in it and that gin is not there. Do you know that? I'm telling you. It's crazy. Okay. It's got to be nag. That was so easy. How come sometimes the daily puzzle is so easy and sometimes it's ridiculous? It's ridiculous. Wait, whose funeral? Everyone thought Nelson Mandela died in prison back in the 80s, but then they found out he was still alive. Why did so many people remember watching his funeral in the 80s? Hence the Mandela effect. Yeah. Yeah. July's almost over. My uncle's birthday is July 3rd. Happy birthday, Uncle Arthur. And it was funny because we would always celebrate it up here, and he would always go, "The summer's over," and I'd say, "Stop it! It is not. It just started." And he'd say, "It stopped. It stopped." He'd say, "Summer's over, July 3rd." And that's right. I remember like a few years before he died, I bought him all these cherries. Happy birthday, yeah. I made my aunt a birthday cake a couple of times. I never made my uncle one, but there was, I miss him, yeah. Happy birthday, Uncle Arthur. Let's see. Low heels, closed shoes. Oh, are you telling me about my courtroom attire? Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be showing up in stilettos. Okay. Oh, I already did peep. Okay, let's see. Now, what did you got there? Rear. Did I not put rear in there? I guess I didn't. Let's see. Good night, Bucky and the little lady. I have an early morning. Okay, I'm not going to be far behind you. You got a doctor's appointment in the morning? Okay, I won't be far behind you either. What is the last word? Paper? Paper moon. Paper moon. Okay. Now. Alrighty. Done. Okay. Okay, I got mood there. Doom, I got that one too. Damn. Yeah, let's try damn. Damn. Okay. Oh, you guys got that too. Okay, common. That's one, right? Common. Let's see. Look, we're a blueberry, and they were called blueberries. And we're almost at our advancement. I didn't realize we were at 19. We've got to do our advancement, our big advancement. We've got to finish this. Okay, how about ammo? Nope. They said no. Okay. What do you got? Any comma? Comma is good. I'm sure comma's there. Here we go. What do we got? Damn. Damn, Skippy. No. Coma. Yeah, I'm sure that's there, right? Yes. Very good. Hello, Modo. Mondo. Condo. Oh. Diddly-doo. Moan. Okay, that should be there, right? Yes. Moan. And what else? Mom. It's not mock, right? There's mod. I already found that. Mono. Mono. Okay, got that. Let's see. Oh, you got it just now too. We always get the stuff together, don't we? It's funny. Okay. Guess great minds think alike. Nod. That's probably there. Let's say nod. Yep. Nod. Good. Nod. Camel? No. Nomad. Very good. Just one more. What is this one here? Camel, I just tried that, right, didn't I? It's an extra word. Let's see. It's an extra word now. Oh, there's only a 4-letter word left. It's going to begin with a C or an A. Coda? Coda. You're right, Coda. Very good. Okay, do we get our advancement now? Let's see. We got to do this one to get out of being a blueberry. I can see balcony right away. Balcony, right? And then I can see bay, boy, ban, can, cab, K, con, koi, cola, okay, lay, lab, nab, only, Colby, any, what do you guys got? Clay, yeah, clay, clan, all right, cloy, let's see, nay, but there's no more three-letter words. Okay, that's good. Only we got loan. That's good. Okay, and bony. All right, and then we've got bacon. She can bring home the bacon. Fry it up in a pan. Very good bacon. Clam. All right, no, there's no clam. Okay. Blog. There's no G. Well, we just need these words. Let's see. Let's switch it up. Wow. What you guys got? Bay we have. Let's see. Bay, bay, bay. We have bay, bay, bay. We need something else. Come along now. Let's see. We've got to get this. Clay, cloy. I don't know why it's not cola. Cola wars. No. Okay. Kona. I tried Lacey. It doesn't work. Oh, shoot. I tried it. See? It doesn't work. Cole says Grateful Pez. Oh, you might have it. Yeah, Grateful Pez. Yes, it is Cole. Very good. What else do we have? Okay, we need something here. It's going to begin with an A or a B. Do, 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 do. Huh. I don't know. What is this one? We've got two words we got to get. Come on. I've got to get this. Bona. There's a mop called Bona, but that didn't work. Oh, how about Boca? No. How about Bona? We tried Bona. Boa. Oh boy. Bola. Bola. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Onlay? Onlay. No, this is crazy. No plea. Okay, we got one. That's good. A heart made wise. We just need one more. B-O-A-L, you say? B-O-A? L. No, right? B-O-A-L? And Bola? B-O-L-A? No. B-O-A? No. A-C-Y-L? A-C-Y-L? Nope. I don't know. I can't think it. Alba. No, there's only one A. There's only one A. Okay, it begins with a B. That tells us a lot, right? The BL. BL. O-N. No. B-L-A-Y. B-L-Y. No. B-L-A-O. No. B-L-A-N. B-L-Y-N. No. B-L-O-N. B-L-O-A. B-L-O-C. Okay, there we go. You and I got it at the same time, Murder of Crows. Let's see, what did we become? We became a... Look at that, we chef ranked up. We moved up to incredible chef. Yay! And let's see what we are. We are spinach. Spinach, spinach, la 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 la. See, I never look at these. Some people look at those, I don't. I just play. We always play the first one of a new level. see. What do you guys say? 2? Oh yeah, 2, right? What else? Text. Okay. Tote I have. Box, book. Right. Took. Very good. We just need one more. Textbook. Oh, we need that one. Yeah, I forgot that we need the textbook. Very good. And, oh, wait a minute. What's the last one? What is the last one? Oh. What is it? What is it? Tote? Tote, somebody said. Already found that. Okay. BOTE? Keto? Okay, let's see what else we got. Toke. Nope. Let's see. Poke. No. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this. Okay, it begins with an L. Oboe. We got it. At the same time, murder, of course, we're always getting it at the same time. I don't know. I can't do it. Can't get the last word. I can't get the last word tonight. Who was that? Remember that? That was always the last word or something. Somebody did that in here all the time. I got the last word. I forget who that was. It was something really crazy. Does anybody remember that? The last word? Somebody had to have the last word all the time? Okay. Fitful. Very good. You got the last word. Heart Made Wise for tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you guys. God bless. That's what I thought. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Murder of Crows. Exactly. You remember just like me. Okay. Let me. You've been around a long, long time. Murder of Crows. Is that the Chattanooga Choo-Choo? Okay, I've got to find out how to end this. Love you guys. God bless. Prayers. We'll see you tomorrow. As soon as I can figure out how to end this. I'm trying to find the... Here we go. Couldn't find the right thingy. The right tingy. Okay, I love you guys. Goodbye.